This shoe is fucking insane. I've never in my life put on any sort of shoe that felt so different that it took a second to get over the feeling. And that's exactly what happened when I tried on the Nike Alphafly Next%. The shoe's so different and potentially game-changing, the World Athletic Organization had to rewrite the rules governing running shoes. When Eliud Kipchoge ran the first ever sub-2-hour marathon, it was a variation of this shoe that was never actually released. Because of the rule changes, Nike had to make a compliant version. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down the shoe that will surely be one of the most featured shoes in any marathon you may run, and one you'll definitely be seeing in the upcoming Olympics. In a future video, I'm going to give my non-runner perspective. In this one, let's focus on the technical aspect of it and see what the shoe is giving or giving back to the runner. All right, so what the hell, Nike? Are we cheating? Yes, no, maybe. For me, the answer is just going to be no. There was a few reasons why Kipchoge's record is considered unofficial. Like the course was meant for speed, and the pace setters were in a formation to reduce his drag. But with regards to the shoes, the World Athletics president Sebastian Coe's concern was that any shoe used for an official race or record should be one that's generally available for a considerable period of time. The Alphafly was only a prototype available to Kipchoge at that time. It's a point about fairness, and also basically meaning that Nike's running tech is so advanced that other runners who don't have access to it are likely to lose. Other concerns were the thickness of the sole, and only one carbon plate can be used, because it was assumed because of the patent that perhaps Kipchoge had maybe 3 carbon plates, and I believe this was found to be untrue. And I think the only change between the one that went to market is the reduced thickness of the sole. So the rules enveloped and addressed these concerns, and now the Alphafly and Vaporfly Next% are 100% compliant with the World Athletics Organization's rules. Between the two top performing Nike running shoes, the Vaporfly was an incredible shoe to try out, but it was far from giving me that wow factor that the Alphafly did when I put it on. But don't get me wrong, the Vaporfly was better feeling than any running shoe I've ever tried before. But with the Alphafly, what was giving me that wow factor? It was the addition of these patented Air Zoom pads. Besides their already insanely lightweight ZoomX foam, the Air Zoom uses pressurized air and tightly stretched fibers to absorb impact and then snap back for fast movement and reduce stress on muscles, joints, and tendons. Theoretically, even more energy is given back to the runner than the already well-praised Vaporfly. Now, there hasn't been any research provided like there was for the Vaporfly. We can thank COVID for that because we just haven't been able to see these in extended or race condition action. Except, of course, for Kipchoge's first ever sub-2-hour marathon. That's probably a pretty good one. But as for the Vaporfly, it was overall the best performing shoe by a statistically significant margin. According to one study by the New York Times, the Nike Vaporflies performed 4 to 5% faster than the average shoe and 2 to 3% faster than the next fastest shoe. So it's no wonder when it comes to race day, it's checks all over. But is what Nike doing cheating? Are we getting into territory that is based too much on the tech and not on the actual runner? Overall, the industry just continues to push that line. Hell, we can even go back to Bill Bowerman of Nike when he created the waffle iron grip on Nike's first innovative running shoe. That grip gave runners the ability to grab the ground and propel forward in a more efficient manner. Was that cheating? Was that pushing tech too far? I'm assuming almost everyone's going to say no. How about Adidas's Boost Tech or Hoka One One's trademark thick soles? Should we just be running barefoot? Then we have this wave of carbon plates that was actually back around in 1992 when Reebok put it in their Graphite Road. And then just carbon plates disappeared for a while. Then in 2018-2019, we saw this massive influx of carbon plate infused shoes, including one of my favorites, the Hoka One One Carbon X. But it's been since 2016 with Nike's announcement of their Break 2 project, meaning their initiative to break a 2-hour marathon, where coupled with the carbon plate and their industry-leading foam, that Nike returned to the throne of running dominance. Now there's a lot of focus on the sole, but we have to talk about this awesome feature of their Atom Knit upper. It's bizarrely thin to the point you'd imagine it felt fragile and could tear, when in fact it's the opposite. It's tough and resilient. The purpose of pushing the tech on the upper is to reduce weight on the shoe. Picking up one of these shoes can feel pretty surprising. Even as big as the size 13s look that I have, they're light as a feather. Studies have shown that for every additional 100 grams or 3.5 ounces per shoe, you burn about 1% more energy. So in theory, running speed and energy costs are proportional, so a 1% increase in mass roughly corresponds to a 1% slower time. And the Atom Knit prevents that because there's just nothing for sweat to stick to. And it's just so damn thin and translucent, like it just dries out and keeps you nice and breathable when you're running. So that's the shoe that is running the show, and I'd almost bet all my money that in the 2020 Olympics, it's gonna dominate the podium. Again, I'll be doing a follow-up and just to give you my experience when I get enough runs in. I want to see what kind of exertion difference I get between these, my other carbon plate running shoe and a standard shoe. There's things like I want to sign up for a marathon within the next year, squat 500 pounds and run a sub 5-minute mile in the same day. Kind of an awesome benchmark for balancing cardio and strength. So if that's stuff you want to see, plus all the other things that I'm doing, hit that like button, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. And how about going for a run? Later.